Hello, Dr. Bailey. This would be my grade proposal for PES 300. I will be reflecting on my work over the semester and having a grade proposal. I hope we can come to an agreement. So, should have been ready. Here we go. So, sorry, I have to make both, so I'm getting them mixed up with the 8. That's for the other one. PES 300. I'm going to analyze my feedback I received on Unit 1 assessments. All right, so my feedback, that's what we're going to be covering. So for Unit 1, it was the triangle analysis and juggling, the juggling experiment. One of the first things I looked at was my Unit 1 work, and I think I showed a basic and solid understanding of the concepts. I understood the main ideas, and I know sometimes I need to be deeper with my explanations, but the feedback I received for the triangle analysis show that I'm ready to move on to Unit 2. I showed basic general grasp of the content. And then you say I'm going to gently push you to start assignments earlier. And so you think more deeply and connect ideas based on your prior experiences. So I need to dig deeper, but I think from a surface level I understood it, and I could put it onto paper and I could explain it if I needed to somebody as well. Why did I understand it well? I thought it was pretty straightforward and connected to what we have done in other classes. I'll bring it up quick. But it kind of just rolled together from prior knowledge and then what we were learning with the constraints and all that. I thought that was easy for me to portray my thoughts and the like manipulations to the tasks. I added that just to show you. I'm looking at this is my triangle assignment. Yeah, I felt really confident about it while making it. It didn't take me very long. Like, it was clicking, made sense. I could have explained it. I think I led in conversation at my table group, so that's why that went well. Moving on to Unit 2, the CLA task. I did try to improve on my work. I got some feedback. I need to show better understanding, but I do think that I understood it. And I enjoyed CLA. I thought it made a lot of sense to me. I feel like I can explain the things that made the most sense for the U-curve. That really clicked for me, like bringing a student with a new skill, they're going to go back, but then they'll move further along in that, trying to move every student up. That made a ton of sense to me. And then stop not worrying about form, but worrying about, putting students in situations where they can succeed and find a lot of the things that we actually learned in Unit 3 that I thought connected to CLA real well. But yeah, putting them in situations and manipulating the task so they have to do certain things to see growth within the student. Looking at my feedback for the CLA assignment, there was a lot of like structural things within the assignment that you bring up that something to consider that you bring up that I weren't the most clear. Transitional movement, there's just a lot of parts within my task from like I would even point it to like a lesson planning point. Like, there was just like some unclear things there, and then you also bring up is this my thinking or AI's thinking, and I didn't get back to you with my response to your feedback, which will be impactful, but it is my thinking. So what I did with this assignment is I made my entire assignment, I did the entire thing, and then the thing I always struggle with is like word choice and like organization and like clearly getting my message across. So what I did is I took my assignment that I created, put it in AI, and I said fix any grammar or mistakes, keep my ideas, keep my thoughts, but just make it clean. That's the only thing I did. And then I turned it in. So it is my thinking. You bring up that I would share more in class. I think it clicked with me, but it clicked like later within, and Declan was at my table and he really understood it, so he kind of ran with it. But in group conversations, I was very included and involved, and I felt like I was able to ask a lot of questions within my group members and pull deeper thinking because I understood the CLA. And yeah, the manipulations you bring up, they made sense to you. I think it really clicked with me. I think I showed great understanding of manipulating tasks instead of like, you're doing it wrong, I need your arm here for throwing a football, and go through, like creating a task where it might just happen, but also like just letting them find success with the way it gets done. I mean, and then it caused me to go deeper thinking, like players in the NFL, like there is like a perfect form, but there's like NFL, the highest level of quarterbacks. That's what I'm talking about here. Like there's so many different throwing motions, and it seems like the best of the best, like they all have like little unique forms, and they're not worried about form, they're worried about getting the job done. So that was interesting, and I liked it. Yeah, but I think I had a good grasp on it, and I think your feedback said a lot, that I was understanding the surface level and what we were being taught, and I just need to dig a little deeper into it and clean up my organization of the task as a whole. All right, next, Unit 3. Unit 3, I think I showed a lot of growth, but again, I think it took me a while, and I think I could not explain it or be vocal about it for a little bit. Optimal theory, I'll start with that. I struggled with getting a grasp on optimal theory. I was good with SDT, the motivation aspect. I love that. And then of course MPE, it's been getting drilled, and I obviously like really click with MPE and what it stands for. So I was a big fan. Obviously I understood that, and I could lead a conversation with that with almost anybody, but the optimal I did really struggle with. Participation in class, I thought I sat back for a while because I was unsure with the theories. I mean, I came to class like prepared. I took notes and like read about them, but I don't know, optimal just never fully clicked with me until we did the like the big poster where me and Wendiger ended up drawing the tree, and the post-it notes is I think where it clicked most, where I would put it into a lesson plan where we talked a little bit at the board, and then I went back and changed some things. I think that's what's actually clicked it most to me, because like at first it was just a bunch of surface ideas that I was trying to get a grasp of, and then I could take that surface idea and really plug it into something that I really put like color to the picture, or whatever the term might be. Sorry, but that's where it clicked the most. Let's see here. Sorry, look for the feedback. The feedback must have been some verbal. I know we tried our first poster and it was an airball. Went really poor, like really bad. But the second time around, like I said, it just took me a bit to understand it and get it going. But figure it out, and I could explain it to someone. Optimal might take me some more time. I need to dig deeper into that. But my confidence level is high with STT and for sure MPE at this point. And connecting it, like I said, to the lesson plan really helped me. Bring this back up. Analyze additional assessment tasks. Notes. Yeah, that we used in class. So I think this is asking, like, did I do this and did I understand it? For the notes, like if we had to come in to class with notes, I always had those done. I came to class with notes every single time, including like the optimal theory and all those things. Not saying I fully understood optimal as much, but I did come knowing like what it was at a surface level. Struggle getting deeper with it. Notes for MPE, I had debriefing from tinkling activity. We're going to come back to that. I don't remember that. Designing a layered systems thinking model. Yes, that's what I just talked about a little bit ago. Took care of that. And then the infographic, yeah. I had all of these done. I came prepared with them done, like before class, if it was notes or whatever it was. And we had open class discussions, and I was able to participate in all those, and even like, lead some of them if it was a certain question or something. Labor outside of class, like I mentioned, if I had to have something done before class, I showed up with it done. What I will say is I did not dig deep into like all the different things in D2L, or I didn't like in my free time, like for Optimal, I'd say Optimal is the best example I can use here. I still don't even fully understand it. I get it and I could tell someone about it, but like if they rebutted with any questions like they knew about it, I'd be in some trouble. So I need to do some deeper digging on that, and I did not. I did do deeper digging on SDT, so that might be why I understand that one so much more. But for the notes and all that, just out of class, I brought everything. I was prepared coming to class every time. Yeah. Analyze your choice during class. Focus and presence. I want to say almost. It wasn't like an 8 a.m., so I didn't struggle with paying attention. People I sat by I stayed, I was present in every class, I was engaged. I didn't raise my hand very much, or maybe at all really, but the second you opened up to a group convo, I was included, I was bouncing ideas, I was talking, like really talking, and I was leading, I promise you that. But relatedness to learn, I really like this, especially with CLA, like the manipulations. I don't know, I really liked it, and I also really liked like the degrees of freedom and all those like little things that we talked about earlier in the year. And I was really the juggling, like I could just connect it to me in the moment, and then connect it to the things that we're like we're learning right now, or like in the past with like lesson planning, or like even my field experience at like Rolling Stone. I could really like connect that to that. So yeah, I want to say my choices during class were really good. I wouldn't hang my head on those. I guess was a few times I would get caught up in a combo with Duelman, Jack, and Declan. We'd be cracking some jokes, but we would bring it back. Be honest. What does your quality of evidence demonstrate? My quality of evidence demonstrates that I put in time out of class for what was asked. I didn't dig any deeper than that, and then in the classroom I was engaged, and I was like happy to be engaged. I showed up. I really did like this class, and yeah, listen to others' conversations. Yes, I could listen to others. I talked about that many times. Like I remember it was me, Rich, Declan, and what's his name? It's been a minute. The other guy, he was the juggling pro, but our conversations were great. We heard each other out, bounced ideas off each other. Engaged in conversations about course content, yes, many times. Like anytime you open it up, that was probably the most meaningful thing I had, just seeing the different views, especially when I sat with Rich, because he would tie it to coaching, but in a way that I could relate it to Phi-Ed as well. So I really like that. But teach others, I feel very confident I could teach MPE, SDT, CLA. I feel so confident that I could run like someone who has no idea what maybe even PE is. Like I could drill them with it, and I think they'd walk away knowing. And finally, propose a grade. It's about the entire 15 weeks, not just the last week. That's good. What does it mean to get an A versus C? Well, I think I've mentioned this to you before. Growing up, B was kind of the baseline, so I see C as like almost like a failure for the class. Like kind of like if I get a C, I'd be grounded. And then a B was just like you got it done, like you covered it. And then an A is you went above and beyond. You did everything you could. And I do think I think I'm gonna say I deserve a B in this class for the engagement I had in the class, for the conversations, for the way I came to class prepared. I think with my definition of a B, just being like you did what you needed to do, I think that is what I did. in the class. You know, I had times where I came to class and I did dig a little deeper and I, really ran a conversation, or I felt super confident. And other times, assignments, I turned them in late or I waited the last moment. I still got them in, but one of them was like really late. The other ones were like, just get them in on time. And, I think I had those high moments and then those low moments where it just evens out to you did enough. So I do think I've earned a B in this class. That would be my suggestion. And yeah, thank you very much.